The magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. You can be either a negative or positive person in life, but only one attitude will get you somewhere. Don't reveal your next step, just take it. A fish with a closed mouth never gets caught. The people who say you can't and won't are usually the ones scared that you will. Be careful how you talk to yourself, because you're listening. Stop thinking you're doing it all wrong. Your path is unique because it can't, shouldn't, and won't look like anyone else's. If something keeps you happy, keep it to yourself. The family you create is more important than the family you come from. The more you know yourself, the less you need others' approval. Just because the past didn't turn out like you wanted doesn't mean your future can't be better than you ever imagined. Don't let small-minded people convince you that your dreams are too big. Don't be upset by the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. The journey to success always begins with the small step of taking a chance. Be alone until you're appreciated. If you don't prepare, you're preparing to fail. What you say about others says a lot about you. Don't be scared to start over. This time you're starting with experience. It's not the future that's unclear. It's your thoughts about it. Stop expecting life to be fair. Expect yourself to be better at handling things. Being alone can be powerful. It helps you realize that you need yourself more than anyone else. We create fears when we sit idle. We conquer them by taking action. If you want to make a bad decision, ask everyone for their opinion. Don't look back, you're not going that way. If people took back the pain they caused you, you'd lose the strength you gained from it. Life often tests you right before it blesses you. If you focus on the hurt, you'll keep suffering. If you focus on the lesson, you'll keep growing. Don't worry about those who talk behind your back. They're behind you for a reason. The longer you live in the past, the less future you have to enjoy. There are no missed opportunities. Everything you missed wasn't yours. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice. Sometimes you need to burn bridges to stop yourself from crossing them again. A man without a vision for his future always returns to his past. Action breeds more clarity than thought. So you can't think your way into a new life, you have to act your way into one. You can make all the mistakes you want. Just don't make the same one twice. Make sure the choices you make are worth the losses you'll take. It's okay if you don't know how to move on. Start with something easier, like not going back. Sometimes you just need to be a bit selfish. Put yourself first and think about what is best for you. Be humble enough to know you aren't better than anyone, but wise enough to know that you're different than the rest. Learn to see people for what they are, not what you want them to be. Until you become comfortable with being alone, you will never know if you're with someone out of love or out of loneliness. People don't decide their future, they decide their habits. And their habits decide their future. The greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are. The second greatest is being happy with what you find. The faster you do the things you avoid, the faster you get the good things you want. Accept the things you cannot change, and change the things you cannot accept. If you don't control your mind, someone else will. When you try to please everybody, you usually please nobody. We can't become what we want by staying the same. The truth is, everyone will hurt you. You just need to find the ones worth suffering for. If you keep questioning whether something is right for you, the answer is probably no. Accept both compliments and criticism. It takes both sun and rain for a tree to grow. Bad habits are like a comfortable bed, easy to get into, but hard to get out of. In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take, the relationships we were too scared to have, and the decisions we waited too long to make. Waiting for change without doing anything is like waiting for a train at a bus stop. We learn wisdom in 3 ways. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is hardest. Don't let other people's opinions drown out your inner voice. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Respect yourself, because others can see if you don't. It's impossible to make everyone happy, and trying to do so will only lead to frustration and disappointment. People will walk in and out of your life, and those you least expect will become past remembrances of a temporary time you once thought was permanent. People who show you new ways of thinking and new ways of seeing life are important. Don't expect to see a change if you don't make one. You train people how to treat you, unconsciously or not. Your value is not determined by someone else's inability to see your worth. The point of the argument is not to defeat each other, but to understand each other. If it scares you, it might be a good thing to try. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. The best way to keep your word is not to give it lightly. Expect little from others and a lot from yourself. That's the secret to happiness. You might regret your words, but you'll never regret your silence. Don't let the same people disappoint you twice. Nothing is too hard if you break it into small tasks. One today is worth 2 tomorrows. Don't sacrifice your progress for a friend. They might not do the same for you. Today is the oldest you've ever been, and the youngest you'll ever be again. A lack of boundaries invites a lack of respect. Work for your goals more than you talk about them. Stop choosing things that aren't choosing you. Learn to be okay with not being invited, included, or considered. It won't happen overnight, but if you quit, it won't happen at all. Work at your job to make a living. Work on yourself to make a fortune. The hardest part is at the beginning of the journey. A rocket uses 90% of its fuel during takeoff. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because it shatters their illusions. When you stop chasing the wrong thing, the right things have a chance to find you. Embarrassment is the price of entry. If you're not willing to look like a beginner, you'll never become a master. You're responsible for your own happiness. If you expect others to make you happy, you'll always be let down. You're right about what you need to do. Don't wait. Get started. Not everyone will make it to your future. Some people are just there to teach you lessons. Be a good person, but don't waste time proving it. There are no bad emotions, only bad reactions to them. You have to learn how to channel your negative emotions in a constructive way. If nothing else, some people just teach you how not to be. You can't make anyone love you, and you can't force yourself to love anyone else. Confidence does not come from an expectation of success. It comes from comfort with failure. We are the average of the people we spend time with. Surround yourself with good people to be a good person. Build your own dream, or someone else will hire you to build theirs. Mistakes are proof that you're trying. The secret to achievement is holding a picture of success in your mind. Count your blessings, not your problems. Be proud of how hard you're trying. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. They sink because of the water that gets in. Don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down. Knowing what to say is knowledge, and knowing when to say it is intelligence. If you need inspiration, don't do it. If you liked this talk, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos that help you think and feel deeply. And if you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Until next time, stay smart and keep moving forward towards a life that feels meaningful and peaceful.